Now, as world leaders enter the last month of 2016, plans are now underway for them to meet in Davos, Switzerland for World Economic Forum. South African leaders have discussed the country's approach to this year's meeting, which will be held under the theme Responsible Leadership. That's a topical subject, specifically in the South African context, as Angela Kapala explains.
The WEF meeting aims to rededicate world leaders to focusing on making economic growth more inclusive, both nationally and internationally. It's a key part of the South African government's National Development Plan and is especially relevant in a country that has some of the highest disparities between rich and poor.
We have a very clear work program, and the work program should and is directed at building unity around this purpose, as we said in the MTBPS. And secondly, the focus is on growth. You change the growth number in South Africa, that's the denominator of GDP growth, deficit growth, trade growth. Change the denominator in South Africa, all of our ratios change.
The current turbulence in South African politics is diverting attention away from the economic focus, but the country isn't alone. Many countries are suffering.
Is the new normal in the world. Right? The question is, how do we deal with it? And ours, relatively speaking, is minor compared to the world trends that are actually developing.
It's in that world that investors, when they survey the global environment and they look at the South African story, then our politics, troubled as it may be, begin to have some context. It's not as if there are many places that are just brilliantly, where the politics are just brilliant.
The business sector says the political context is distracting.
I think we're just getting to hear more now. But that does make life difficult, but we've made it our business to understand that it is in the nature of contested political space, and it is therefore our duty to explain this to our various audiences. But it's a challenge, and it's not easy.
With unemployment figures at near record levels, Team South Africa's approach will take time to implement, says Gordhan. But the message to potential investors in Davos will be clear. Despite the current political uncertainty, South Africa is open for business. I'm Angelo Coppola for CCTV in Johannesburg, South Africa.